guys, it's Izzy here, and today I'm going to be showing you all the books that I've acquired recently because I didn't buy them all myself, but this will be my January 2021 book haul, the first book haul of the year. The first thing in this video technically isn't a book, but when you guys send me stuff I do like to show it in videos. So Ben Bird Person, he sent me some gifts. The note was just emojis. One of them didn't show up, just to let you know, the one with the umbrella, the next emoji didn't. So that's why with Amazon you always have to be super careful because they may not have it on their computers. But he got me the Morton Salt Girl, which I've really been wanting because I say it all the time. I'm trying to collect all the ad icons, and she's so cute. She's like really mod, which I'm dressed mod today. And like her little eyelashes, they're adorable. So there's the back of the box. Really excited about that. Thank you, Ben Bird Person. And then he got me a book as well, which if you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I have already read. I read one Philip K. Dick this month, on one book by him, and this is the collection of short stories which some of you guys recommended that I pick up since I did see the show Electric Dreams, and that this collection is really what inspired the TV show, and that it's a good place to start, even though this isn't the book I started with, but for getting into his writing, it's a good place to start. So Ben picked that up for me, so thank you so much. And this cover is so pretty with all the blue. So thank you, Ben Bird Person, for these gifts. I'm so thankful. You did not have to get me anything because it's not like a holiday or anything, but thank you so much. So the next thing was actually a gift too. So this was a Christmas gift, but it got here late, from my friend Sarah. She picked me up Queen's Peril. This is a Star Wars novel by E.K. Johnston. This is about Padme. I'm not actually sure when it takes place. So it seems like it takes place during the Phantom Menace. So maybe the Phantom Menace at her point of view, but I'm not 100%. All I know is about Padme, and I love Padme, and the prequels in Star Wars are my favorites. So that's really like all I need to know. Like, I'm reading every single Star Wars book. So then we have my book of the month picks. So this month, since I am a best friend with them, I got to get a free book of one of their best books of 2020. So I picked out Anxious People by Frederick Backman. So I read Beartown by him. These are translated from Swedish, to let you know. The book, I wouldn't say I enjoyed it, but I felt like it was such an important read. It was just very long. Like, the book itself wasn't long, but it was just really heavy and all of that. But it was very much character driven, and it's such an important read. So I feel like his books are character driven, and I do like that. So this one is, I think it's a bank robbery goes wrong and they hold people hostage in a store in Stockholm and all of that. So that's very, I've never read anything like that, and I was willing to check out more of his work. So the book that I actually chose, and I did a blog post on my most anticipated releases of this month, and this was one of them, and that is Outlawed by Anna North. So this is a Western book, and it's about like a gang of women in the Wild West. And I'm like, I love the Wild West. I love feminism. Give me that. So I did a whole summary on my blog. And to let y'all know, I don't really go into the summaries in these haul videos because I don't know really. I like not knowing anything going into a book. But obviously all these are on Goodreads if you want to check them out. So the next book is the one that I drew out of the hat, and that is Star by Pamela Anderson. This book, I've heard, is not great. It's like a 2-star, but I love Pam. She's one of my inspirations when it comes to modeling and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, she does a lot of good charity work too. So this is basically, it's not her, but it's kind of inspired by her life of how she got famous and all of that, and modeling. And to me, that sounds interesting. So, but I'm not going in, when books are by celebrities, I don't go in expecting much. So who knows how this will be. And so the next book was a pre-order, and it's stuck to another one. So this was a pre-order. This was Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule. This is set in the High Republic of Star Wars. And so this is like 200 years before the other Star Wars book I showed you. So 200 years before like the main plots of the Star Wars movies. As you can see, there's a Wookiee. Wookiees. So this is when like the Republic was at its height. So for over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice, is the quote on the back. So then I picked up a sequel. That was the other book that I drew out the hat, and that is Half the World by Joe Abercrombie. This is in the Shattered Sea series. So this is, I don't think, following the same characters, but some side characters from the previous book. And this is a trilogy. Joe Abercrombie is very famous. The other book, it wasn't the best fantasy I've ever read, but it was good, so I am continuing the series. It's Nordic and Viking inspired. So then we have a nonfiction, and this is Cosimo de' Medici, and this is by K. Dorothea Yorch, I'm not sure. So there are no books like on the men in the Medici family. They're all on Catherine, which Catherine is great, but there are so many other interesting figures. I mean, we can go into Cosimo's daughter-in-law, Lucrezia Turbini, was that her maiden name? But she's one of my favorite women in history, and I wish somebody would write a book on her. And y'all are probably saying, then you should write a book on her. No, I do not have the resources and all that to write a book. I would have to be in Italy, and obviously I can't do that. But I want to know everything there is to know about the Medici. So I picked this book up on Cosimo because he's kind of like the founder, really. I know his dad did a lot, but I feel like Cosimo was really the one who founded the dynasty, and he was like the richest man in Europe at one time. So then we have YA historical fiction, The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. So this is very popular. It's LGBT representation in it as well. There is a sequel that is the main character's sister's perspective, and I think they're mixed race too. Maybe Indian, I think was what it was, and that's common in Victorian novels because colonization of India, not a good thing, but it happened. This used to be very popular, like when I first got onto BookTube, so it should be fun to check out. So the next one was one that I got to choose, and that is These Old Shades by Georgette Heyer. So I didn't know this was published in 1927, and that makes me not as excited because I feel like it's not going to be as steamy and everything. And like, I don't know, I feel like it's going to be very clean cut, and I'm like, romances are toxic. Not all of them, but like enemies to lovers, give me that. But Pride and Prejudice is also a really good romance, and that was written like 100 years before this. But this is set in like, what would that time period be called? Like when Versailles was popping and all of that. Like when Outlander takes place. I forget what it is called. It's not Regency or whatever, but it's before that. It's like the era before that, but that's the era that I'm really fascinated in right now, the 18th century. And this is a romance that takes place in that time. So if y'all know any more romances that take place in the 18th century, or any books in general, because that's what I really want to read right now, let me know. They can be set anywhere in the world, any of the continents. I do not care. I want to read books in that era. So our last one is a graphic novel, and that is Sapiens, The Birth of Humankind, Volume 1 by Yuval Noah Harari and David Vandermeulen and Daniel Castanet. So I have the book for it right there, but this is just the graphic novel. Again, anthropology is something I am so interested in, and that's like what these books are about. So a graphic novel should be fun and just giving me tons of knowledge, and I want to get something out of every single book I read, and I feel like I'll get a lot out of this, especially since it's a subject that I'm so fascinated in. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you on Tuesday with a brand new video at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye!